Why don't you run us through the Microsoft Bethesda acquisition being complete? I mean, as a gamer, do you think Microsoft has been in a seriously disadvantaged position compared to Sony in terms of exclusives? And perhaps more importantly, does this solve the problem? Is this it? Silver bullet, done.
I think they absolutely have been in the past, and I don't 100% know if this will completely solve the problem, because I think a lot of exclusives are very important around console launches.
Yep.
So it depends on how the timing of these things are going to happen. They made this acquisition now. Maybe they're kind of trying to cook this for the next console launch. Although if there are exclusives coming in the form of, oh my goodness, Elder Scrolls 6 and what is the other one, Starfield, something like that, that would definitely sell some Xboxes, because those are going to be gigantic games no matter what you think. Even Fallout 76 was an atrocious failure, and it's not going to matter if they come out with the sequel to Skyrim. That's like yeah, it's going to be kind of irrelevant. Tons of people are going to buy Elder Scrolls 6. It's also, we have heard rumors that Elder Scrolls 6 itself is extremely far out, so that could even potentially be a next console situation, or a console refresh situation.
I was gonna say, because I've been making notes, stuff I want to ask you about. Will there ever be a next gen Xbox? We'll talk about that after.
Yeah,
that's a whole separate discussion.
But yeah, this is huge, because it's not like, some people know Bethesda for
Elder Scrolls,
like one that maybe Elder Scrolls, or maybe Fallout, or maybe both, or maybe Doom.
I mean, well, there's Elder Scrolls, and then there's Elder Scrolls in a dystopian future. Like, come on.
Yeah, yeah. Or there's Elder Scrolls, but online persistent universe. It's a bunch of studios. It's Alpha Dog Games, which makes Wraithborn. It's Arcane Studios, which makes Dishonored, which we could see a Dishonored 3, I think it would be. Bethesda Game Studios, which is what you're probably most familiar with, which is Elder Scrolls, Fallout, etc. id Software, which is Doom. Machine Games, which is Wolfenstein. Roundhouse Studios, which is a new studio with no announced projects currently, so maybe we'll see something down the line. ZeniMax Online Media, which is Elder Scrolls Online, and Tango Gameworks, which is The Evil Within. So it's a ton of different IPs, and that is 1,000% what Microsoft was going for. It's been interesting looking at some of the interviews and stuff so far, because our old friend Todd Howard has very much openly accepted at this point in time that the launch, he said, if I remember correctly, the quote was, the launch of Fallout 76 like couldn't have gone any worse, or
that's one way of putting it.
There like wasn't more things that we could have gotten wrong, or something along those lines. I don't remember what the exact quote is, but he's openly accepting that, which is good. And they're saying that Microsoft Tech may have actually helped them with that, which is probably actually true. So it's interesting. There's notes in here saying that Microsoft is acting a lot like Disney, gobbling up intellectual property.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I just hope that they continue to not Star Wars anything that they purchase. That would be great. So Microsoft, I would very much appreciate if you don't do that.
In terms of sheer numbers, this is crazy. This brings Microsoft to 23 first-party studios, where by comparison, Sony has 13 first-party studios and Nintendo has 11 production groups, but then many other outside studios as well. That is kind of crazy. I mean, is there going to be anything left of, independent game development houses? I mean, at what point? Because EA, yeah, really big company. Compared to Microsoft, like, get real. And I mean, at what point does EA get eaten up? At what point does Activision Blizzard get nommed up?
EA would be extremely expensive unless you parted it out, because like the EA Sports section, literally just FIFA, it would be like so much
multi-billion-dollar business.
Yeah.
Good old FIFA.
Like, you might be able to take other properties off of them, which could be interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is spicy. There's been a consistent rumor that there's going to be a big press conference. I'm rather certain that hasn't happened, but I haven't been following it super closely. And we suspect there's going to be news about, is it Starfield? It is Starfield, right? Yeah, we suspect there's going to be news about Starfield and how different exclusives are going to work moving forward and all this other kind of stuff at that event. Whatever that event looks like in the time of COVID, which will probably just be an online stream.
Phil Spencer's quote here sounds pretty ominous. So, I mean, he's basically trying to finally clear up the big question about the acquisition. What does this mean in terms of platform exclusivity for Bethesda games? So here's the quote. If you're an Xbox customer, okay, so he's already not talking to anyone who's not an Xbox customer. We're off to a good start. The thing I want you to know is that this is about delivering great exclusive games for you, not for other people, that ship on platforms where Game Pass exists. Well, okay then. That's
like
our
not
goal.
even. That's like beyond ominous. That's just like telling you how it is.
Yeah, okay. That's our goal. That's why we're doing this. That's the root of this partnership that we're building. Okay.
We want exclusives. We just bought a bunch of exclusives.
And we're going to put them on Game Pass.
Heck
so either
yeah.
Sony can support Game Pass or Sony can go themselves. Yep. All right then. Neat. Now, any contractual obligations that Bethesda had already tied themselves into, obviously those will be honored. But beyond that, it looks like this is basically going to be the Bethesda on Microsoft and only Microsoft show. I mean, PC gamers are probably going to be in pretty good shape here because back to your comment about, you know, maybe the timing of this is so that they can line up great exclusives for the next Xbox. I think that's a really interesting conversation, whether there will actually ever be another Xbox. I think it's over. I think that's what the series name means. Xbox is a series of game consoles with varying capabilities. I think that's what Microsoft is testing the water with such wildly different capabilities between the Xbox Series S and the Xbox Series X. Sony went the traditional way. They appeased game developers by having two different price points, but differentiating them only in terms of their support for physical media. Like, Sony decided, no, a PlayStation 5 is a PlayStation 5. Microsoft said, hey, game developers, guess what? We're going to have one truly next generation console experience. And oh, by the way, we're going to have this thing that's like moderately more powerful than last gen, and you're going to have to optimize your game to run for it. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to sell on Xbox at all. So good luck with that. I think that's a sign of things to come. I think we could see Xbox Series X2 or Series Z or whatever. I mean, it's Microsoft, so the naming will be terrible and it'll make no sense whatsoever. But I mean, I think they're just going to treat it like Windows. Xbox is a platform now. And so these games will just come out and they'll just be on Xbox. And then at some point you'll just be able to run Xbox as like as a dashboard on your Windows computer. And game developers are basically going to be forced to support this ever increasingly diverse set of hardware to the point where it's barely even a console anymore. But that's just me being all tinfoil hat conspiracy theory.
Yeah, no, I think we're going in that direction. I don't necessarily know if that's going to happen with the next generation. Like, I don't know if we're there now. We definitely could be. I think your point about the name makes a lot of sense. But yeah, I think there will still be bumps.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you're going to like upgrade your Xbox. Like, I think it's going to be a new box that you go to the store and you buy. And I think it's going to come. The main thing that might make me suspect that is I bet you they would start releasing them a little bit more often.
But what I also think they're going to do is I think they're going to continue support for past Xboxes for much longer. So in the old days, a new Xbox or a new PlayStation launched, and it's not like when the PlayStation 3 launched, you could like update your PlayStation 2 with the new redesigned menu. Like, that wasn't a thing. PlayStation 3 navigation is PlayStation 3 system navigation, and PS2 system navigation is PS2 system navigation. That's it. It's that simple. So what I think we might see is kind of like the iPhone, where Apple has made an extremely lucrative business out of supporting their devices for much longer and then taking their 30% cut off the App Store, right? So Microsoft is playing that exact same game. They want Xboxes staying in people's living rooms for as long as humanly possible. And I don't think they care what kind it is. Because at the end of the day, the difference between a $300 Xbox and a $500 Xbox is sort of trivial to a company at Microsoft's size. Like $200, please. They don't care about your $200. No. They want Game Pass, right? What's Game Pass cost now? Monthly US. Here, hold on a second. I'm trying to remember. I don't actually subscribe to it. So here, we're gonna look at Ultimate. Oh, for crying out loud, can you just see all plans? Here we go.
Ultimate is $17 a month. PC is $12 a month. Console is $12 a month.
That's in Canada though, so it's probably like 8 to 12 or whatever that works out to in freedom dollars. So okay, so $200. Yeah, right. No, they want you to run your Xbox for the next 5 to 10 years, and they want your, let's say, $10 a month. Okay, $10 a month times 60 months for 5 years. Oh, that's $600. Yeah. Yep. That's definitely the game plan. They've made this very clear. They've made it clear that they don't even consider Sony a competitor in the same space anymore. With that said, I think for them to have spoken that way about Sony was a little bit I think that was overly confident. Because if anyone has proven that you can make a business out of doing gaming differently, it's Nintendo. And now that that is definitely proven, there is absolutely no reason why Sony couldn't continue to innovate. I mean, they've done stuff in the past that, even though not that commercially successful, is at least now agreed was amazing. Like the PS Vita, for example. Like, how many of you would love to see Sony revisit the Vita? Come on, let me know.
I mean, a proper Switch competitor?
Yeah. I mean, the Switch was wildly successful. And the crazy thing about the Switch, hold on. The crazy thing about the Switch is that it wasn't even that innovative of an idea. Nintendo launched the Shield way before, like, the Switch was probably even a twinkle in Nintendo's eye. Like, hold on a second. Improve spam prevention. Create poll. Okay, I got a poll for you guys. I got a poll, so we're gonna hit Floatplane first. Here we go. Bum bum bum. Straw poll. Let's hit Twitch next. Everyone in Twitch and Floatplane chat is talking about the PSP too, right? Exactly. Okay, man. YouTube chat is moving so fast. This isn't even gonna work.
Someone who can absolutely move new consoles is Nintendo, because they'll change it up. Like, when the last time they released an even remotely what I'd consider standard console would have been the GameCube, right?
I mean, I was gonna say the Wii U, but it did have the screen on the controller gimmick. I would say that because no one cared about that,
I liked it.
Fundamentally,
it Why not count as a person?
You count as a person. You just count as one whose opinion doesn't matter.
Wow.
Oh, apparently poll results are broken. Oh, rip straw poll. Okay, well,
that controller was actually amazing. Just no one really used it.
It blows my mind still that there were tech savvy people who didn't realize that the Wii U was a next generation console and thought it was like a Wii expansion kit or something like that.
The Wii U is actually one of my... I probably played the Wii U more than I played the Switch. I actually really liked Wii U. It just, when I invited my friends over to play, literally not one of them knew it was a new console. They thought it was just a new controller for the Wii. The marketing around that was just the actual worst of any gaming marketing in the last 20 years.
I don't even understand why they called it that. I mean, calling it Wii in the first place was terrible, and then they had to go and name the next one Wii U. I mean, maybe it's just one of those things that didn't translate. But then it bombed everywhere, so I don't know.